Continuing on, we will have other laptops that I care about. Now I use, where are you? As a daily driver right now, a Lenovo Yoga 9i Pro. This is the 2025 model. It's the peak spectacle with the tandem OLED, yada, yada, yada. So I like them. I like Yoga laptops in general. I use Yogas all the time. They're fantastic. Lenovo has some refreshed Yogas and some new Yogas coming out. Let's jump in right now. So we'll start with the Yoga 9i Pro because there's some very different tweaks here from the one that's behind me. It's changed a lot, actually. So we're going to jump right in. And this is the 16-inch model. Boom. Okay, very good. It's changed a lot. We'll put it that way. Right, we can see that they've got rid of the numpad. So before I continue on, right off the bat, you can see that. So some people are going to love that, some people are going to hate it. Right here, we have the numpad. We have the numpad, the wrong thing. Numpad over here, which some people love, some people hate because they don't want numpads. And then, of course, we do have this large trackpad off center because of that. They've got rid of that. So we can see on here, they've got rid of the numpad. It's completely gone, centering the keyboard down the center. And then you actually have larger speaker grills and numpad gone. And it's got a black keyboard. It kind of looks like a MacBook. They've clearly went for the MacBook. And I've done the comparisons myself. I've always said the Lenovo Yoga, I say it all the time, is the MacBook of the Windows space. And it is. It's like essentially, not exactly, but essentially just as premium as a MacBook. But then you get access to things like RTX graphics, Windows, and significantly more upgrades, right? For cheaper. So it's always been that. So now they're leaning into it more, which is fine. I'm actually fine with it. Normally, sometimes I might be like out of the numpad, and that's unfortunate, and yada, yada, yada. But this has always kind of been the MacBook competitor, like the real MacBook Pro competitor, just to be clear here. They've leaned into that, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. They've also put out a 14-inch model. They look almost the same on camera, but they're not the same. You can see the speaker grills are smaller there. So these are Lenovo's Halo Ultra Peak, not a ThinkPad. ThinkPads, they do have really nice ThinkPads too. Not a Legion. The Halo laptop that Lenovo produces, in my opinion, is the Yoga 9i Pro. It has been for a couple of years, and it probably will continue. This is their, everything is refined. You get access to a very good CPU. You get access to RTX graphics. They typically put their best possible screens on the Yogas. They absolutely put their best audio on them. The chassis are incredibly premium. They test the best features on the Yogas, but they also keep them simple. They are good laptops. Again, like a MacBook. I'm going to say that a lot. That's okay in this case because that is clearly what they're targeting. So we have the new one on the left here, which is 15-inch. That didn't exist before. They had the Yoga 7i 15-inch Aura edition with the Lunar Lake chip, but they didn't have the Pro in 15-inch, which is good because this is a big laptop. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the 16-inch. It is a big laptop. You're going to cut off some of that size there. So you're going to go from MacBook Pro 16-inch to having MacBook Pro 16-inch and MacBook Pro 15-inch, which doesn't even exist in the Mac space. You go from 14 and 16, and the 15 is dedicated for an Air. So this is actually filling not only a Windows niche, but this is filling a niche of that MacBook Pro-like laptop that's in 15 inches, which doesn't exist right now. So that's great. So very cool. So first of all, good job, Lenovo. You now all of a sudden have a new laptop. And again, these are Pro. They're not not the 7i and the 9i. They're Pro. So what we end up here is we end up with RTX graphics. So Yoga 7i Aura Edition, but it's Pro. Remember that Pro word there. If it didn't say Pro, it wouldn't have RTX graphics, but it does have that. So it's not just a refresh where we're getting the Aura Edition with the Lunar Lake chip. We're not doing that here. This is the Pro model, so it's significantly beefier. All right, so we'll come in here. I kind of want to leave that picture up. It looks good. Cover it. You'll figure it out. These look great. These look fantastic. So these are going to be, again, you're looking for the hyper premium. You like all the advantages of a Mac, but you don't want to be locked down into the shitty Apple operating system. You're okay with losing that ecosystem. You want upgradability and all this kind of stuff. These are the Cadillacs that Lenovo offers. So the 15-inch. Fantastic. They've decided to stick with the H processor like this. That's one of the advantages of this. It had the Arrow Lake 285H in this model here. Fantastic chip. Lots of power. Also doesn't use a lot of heat. So they're going with the Panther Lake one, which is just a straight up iterative improvement. It's not like a refresh. This is take the Arrow Lake, make it better. That's what they've done here. So this is great. They're putting in the exactly what I want to see. So this CPU is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm going to love this. This is going to be great. Awesome. Both of them do go up to a 5070, just like the one behind me, and that is great. People may look at that and be like, well, why no 5070 Ti? In my testing, there's no difference in video editing. There's no difference at all, maybe like a second, because the 5070 Ti mobile does not have dual dual NVIDIA encoders. It has a single, just like the 5070. So even though it has more VRAM, it doesn't actually really make a difference between like video editing. So the 5070 gives you enough power, keeps the cost down from the 5070 Ti, so it's great. I have no problem with the 5070. You can game like crazy on these things, but it's not designed to do that. So that's fine. 5070 is great, no problems there. RAM is soldered on both of these, just like the one behind me. It doesn't have upgradable RAM, but it does go up to 64 gigabytes. RAM is unbelievably expensive right now in 2026, coming from 2025, and it's going to get worse. So it's at the point now where it's actually not feasible in many cases for the user to upgrade the laptop. The RAM costs too much money. You could buy a laptop with 8 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes, be like, I'll upgrade it myself. But then you have to go out into the market and fight for RAM. You have to pay a fortune. It's always out of stock. It costs so much money. You're paying the company who made the RAM. Then you're paying the company who, is reselling, is putting the RAM into a chip like Kingston or whatever. Then you're paying the company who is selling the RAM, Newegg, Best Buy. Then you're buying it yourself, or maybe you can't even find it from that company. Then you're going on Facebook. So there's so many levels that you have to buy from. Whereas Lenovo is able to skip a lot of that middleman stuff, buy it directly, the modules here, put it in the laptop. So yeah, they pay a lot more money too, but there's a possibility of it costing less for them to do it than for you to do it. So in this weird AI world that we're in, unfortunately, we have a case where you're almost better off just buying it from them. So upgradability doesn't matter. It's too expensive to upgrade yourself anyways. 2 terabytes. Typically, I think there'll be dual NVMe's. That one over there had a 2242 and a 2280 slot. I think they'll maintain that, but maybe not. It may only have a single because these are thin. I don't know what they're going to do. The 15-inch probably doesn't have 2 slots, but they can do it. It's possible. We'll see. It doesn't explicitly say 2, so that might be a downgrade where there's only 1 slot, just so you know. Just be aware of that. Now, the screen on these things are crazy. This one is a 1600p OLED. You can see here 1100 nits peak brightness. That's bright. It's a standard bright OLED. Very beautiful screen. 1600p high refresh, VRR for things like gaming, 100% DCI-P3, flicker-free, blue light, blah, 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 blah. Touch optional. It's a killer screen. Killer screen. It is glossy. It will be glossy. So if you don't like glossy, you're not going to like that. But it is a, otherwise a 10 out of 10 screen. This one here is the 15 out of 10 screen. It's on my laptop right there. It's the 2000p, so 3.2K. Same thing, 120 hertz refresh versus 165, but it's fast regardless. But this one is a tandem OLED. Tandem OLED gets so bright. So 1600 nits peak brightness, but that's like HDR. Even when you're just like not using HDR and you just turn this thing up to super bright at night, when I turn on my laptop like blindly and I'm on a white screen like this, and it's just like flashbang, it's so bright, which is a good thing. I mean, maybe not at night, but it's a good thing in the daytime because it's a glossy screen. You can crank that brightness up and it actually cuts through the gloss a lot. I bitch and moan about glossy screens all the time because they drive me crazy, but when the screen is so goddamn bright, 1600 nits or 1000 nits standard, whatever, it just cuts through the glare because it's like you're not fighting to see what's going on. It's just like the light is there. So it just cuts through that glare that you normally get. So this is a killer screen. They're both good. Higher refresh, but lower resolution and still bright, still fantastic screen. Then you have access to the tandem. I think this will also have the non-tandem OLED. It'll have, the 120 hertz 1600p 16-inch non-tandem OLED. Should have both. Looks like the battery is a wee bigger. 92.5 watt hours is big for a 15-inch laptop, by the way. If things carry forward from Arrow Lake 255H, 285H, which has incredibly good battery efficiency, like really good battery efficiency, like my laptop back there, this thing will have crazy good battery. It does charge over USB-C. 140 watts. Interesting. So the 15-inch is actually using, where do I have it? I don't have it with me. Is using a slim tip. Not using a slim tip, it's using a USB-C style. So you're going to get this style thing here, up to 140 watts. But rather than having a slim tip like that, it's going to be USB-C. And I have one of those too, that actually just doesn't reach. So this is a Lenovo USB-C charger, 135 or 140 watts. this thing's able to maintain 140 watts over USB-C. That's really good. And then, of course, the big boy does have access to the slim tip, which does allow more power. Now, you may look at that and say, well, does that mean there's going to be a big performance difference? Probably not. I guess peak performance. So if you actually max out the CPU and the GPU at the same time on the 15-inch, there will be a performance difference because the 5070, in theory, will go to 100 to 115 watts. It's not leaving a lot for the CPU. Now, this is a very efficient CPU. So in things like gaming, it won't matter. This CPU is only going to pull 25 watts, 30 watts in a game anyways, while your GPU is doing 85 to 100 watts. Fine, it'll be fine. You'll get incredible performance, and that's fine. But if you are doing something that is actually very CPU heavy and GPU heavy at the exact same time, and you're intentionally like murdering your system, the slim tip here allows for more wattages. So you'll be able to actually max that CPU at whatever it can do, 100 peak, something like that, sustained, probably like 65 to 100 peak sustained, with your GPU also pulling 100 to 115 peak sustained at the same time without, overloading the system. This one here, it'll probably just won't let you do that. It'll be like, no, we can only work with 140 watts. So it'll probably be, 100 watts on the GPU while the CPU can pull 130, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Especially for a 15-inch laptop. Otherwise, glass trackpad, I lost it here, but yeah, glass, force pad. Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, okay, I just want to make sure they have their weird naming. So that's a haptic trackpad from Lenovo. So that's a big upgrade. These don't have haptic trackpads. There are some laptops with haptic trackpads, like the ThinkBook 14 Plus and 16 Plus I had to import from China. Only in China, they're like an Asian market, crazy good, with haptic trackpad. And a couple of the ThinkPads, like the X9, had the haptic trackpad option. So we're getting the trackpad or with glass top. So it's fantastic. That's going to be really good. This thing is looking like an absolute Cadillac. It literally is the MacBook killer. I'm going to have to, like Lenovo, if you watch this video, you may, if you're going to send me review units, like to sample and they send back to you, I promise I won't steal it for one thing. I will send it back. Get me one of these, probably both, right away. Like get them to me because I'm the guy to do the yogas because I love them. They're my thing. They're my jam. So these look great. These look really, really good. Moving on. Okay, so let's bring up the specs here. There you are. Couldn't find you. Okay, X9 processor. I'm not actually sure what that is because, we're at the point where like things are literally being announced. Core Ultra X9. It's going to be a Core Ultra thing. What the hell is this chip? Oh, it's just a Panther Lake. So 388H. Okay, it's just a confusing name. So Core Ultra 9 up to the Panther Lake peak top. So fantastic chip. This will be one to keep an eye on. That's going to be a crazy good chip in terms of the CPU performance. It's also going to give you excellent IGP performance. They're claiming 40% faster than the AMD 890, which I don't know if that's true in gaming, but even if it's the same, it's going to be great. But if it's faster even by 20%, it's going to be crazy. And here's the thing. Intel's better at productivity stuff. Full stop. When it comes to iGPU, CPU, rendering, that kind of stuff, quick sync, and Intel, iGPU will crush AMD. I've used both. AMD is still fine, but when it comes to like video editing and that kind of stuff, Intel is just way better. So even if this was a previous generation Arrow Lake, it would be a better pick than AMD for a laptop like this that's professional focused. But now it has the Panther Lake, so it's probably going to be just objectively faster in CPU, GPU, and way faster in iGPU. So boom, it's a good laptop. Crazy good screen, 120 hertz VRR. POLED, so it's slightly brighter, I guess. Again, highly calibrated LTE-1, huge battery for a laptop of this size. This thing is going to have really good battery life. Yeah, expect good things from this one here, for sure. Expect very good things from that in 3 colors too. There's also this here, which is just a slightly different variant of it. Get out of here. It comes in the darker color, and it has a Snapdragon. Yeah, Snapdragon. So very similar laptop. This is the Slim 7X instead of I. X for Snapdragon. So Lenovo is actually doing a good job with their naming. The X is for Snapdragon, the I is for Intel, and the A is for AMD. Snapdragon 2 Elite, 32 gigabytes of RAM, incredibly fast, literally the same screen. I think that's the exact same battery. 2 USB 4 on the one side, one USB 4 on the right, so really good connectivity. No USB-A, but you get lots of ports. It is what it is. glass trackpad. This will be super premium, and this is the Snapdragon one. So yeah, the Panther Lake will give you very good battery life, like incredible. The Snapdragon will give you like 2 to 3 days of battery life. So if you're looking for the same thing, you don't care about, you know, the like the raw CPU compute that you get off the Panther Lake. You just want crazy good battery life. You go with the Snapdragon one. So both look good. So subtle teal on the right, that nice traditional, like beautiful blue color. I love that blue color. It's like hard to find in the West for a lot of things, but then they have seashell, which immediately wins for me. It's so nice. It's not white. It's like it's seashell colored. It's a nice, creamy, beautiful, lovely thing. So it comes 14-inch. We'll just go like this here. So you can get 14-inch over here. And you can also get 16-inch. So let's bring in the, oops, I didn't mean to do that. So we'll just leave that one up there. Of course, it does come in blue, and it's a 2-in-1, so it inverts and you get a pen. That's great. And of course, there is a 16-inch as well. Let's put that in here. So this is the 16-inch one. Otherwise, I guess theoretically the same, right? Pen, whatever. I don't see the blue one in the 16-inch for now. I mean, maybe they just don't have it in their files, or they have announced it, or it's not coming. I don't know. So key specifications here for the 14-inch. We'll go like this here. These look good to me. Boom. That's the 14-inch. Let's come in here. Key specifications for the 16-inch. These should be basically the same, very similar. These are Yogas, by the way. They're Yoga 2-in-1. So these are going to be very premium laptops. Chassis-wise, very, very, very nice. So Ryzen AI 7 445, Ryzen AI 7 445. It'll be good. You're gonna have no problems here. It's not some, you know, performance behemoth, you know, pulling HX level compute and that kind of stuff, but these are thin laptops, 2-in-1 thin convertibles. That'll give you a good balance of performance to battery life to heat, especially. 32 gigabytes RAM, soldered again, but again, we've already beat down the dead horse with the RAM situation. So in this case, whatever, it's soldered. It is what it is. 2 terabytes storage, up to one single M.2. I highly doubt that you can get a dual M.2 in this. Highly, highly, highly doubt it. It's possible, but I don't foresee it being a thing. People are like freaking out on my Discord. They're like, when does the NDA end? When does it end? And I was like, 5 hours from now. I'm making the video. Get excited. And they're like, okay. I like to tease people because I get excited about stuff like this. And I'm just like, it's coming and it's good. And I can't tell you what it is. And they're like, wow. That's literally the sound they make and I make. And we look at each other and we're like, bah, 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 bah. That's how it goes. Anyways, so 14-inch screen crazy, right? 16-inch screen crazy, right? Same screen, just bigger and smaller. 2.8K, 2.8K, so higher pixel density on the 14-inch, but both are super pixel dense. They're going to be incredible. 120 hertz VRR, 120 hertz VRR. Looks crazy. Pure sight OLED, OLED. Standard brightness probably around 500. Peak nits 1000. Good. 100% sRGB. More importantly, 100% DCI-P3. Super bright. Delta E -1 means calibrated. Good for professionals. If you're a graphic designer, you need it on the go. You want a 2-in-1. You want a pen. This is the laptop for you. Easy. Calibrated, beautiful, amazing screen. 70 watt-hour battery is very big for a laptop, that is especially the smaller one, but good in both cases. Efficient chips, you'll get really good battery life. 65 watt peak, totally fine. Actually, quite a bit for this as well. And ports, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there's one negative here. Is there a negative? Yes. Okay, so there's one negative here. No Thunderbolt 4, USB 4. Bring that down. So that's my negative. You got to find a negative with everything. So there's no Thunderbolt 4. Wi-Fi 7. Great. Honestly, these look killer. These look killer. Pen, everything. You're looking for a 2-in-1 to get the job done. That'll do it. Okay, there's more Yoga. We're getting out of the laptop territory now. We're getting to other Yoga stuff because Lenovo is really pushing into this Yoga brand, and I'm here for it. This is the Yoga Pro 27 UD. 27-inch, obviously, and UD for, I don't know. It means something. Let's find it. It's a monitor with other things going on. It has a gun on the top, which is actually just a camera. Very good. Okay, so 26.5-inch. It's a big monitor. QD OLED, four-sided ultra-thin QD OLED, which it'll be good for things like burn-in risks and that kind of stuff. It's a modern OLED. 4K, as you'd expect, so it's going to be very pixel dense. Not the brightest, actually. It's interesting. Not the brightest. 250 nits. Kind of like an old-school OLED before they got super bright, but it's a pro thing. You're probably not putting this. You're not taking it on your go. Crazy high color space, 146. That's great. 100% DCI-P or above, technically, 120 hertz refresh. So it's going to be a very good professional level screen. And the other thing is it's like a KVM dock, like a port, like a dock kind of thing, not KVM dock, but I mean, you come in here and you get USB-C for display, HDMI with high bandwidth, display port, another display port. Then you have upstream USB-C 40 gigabit. So it's a hub. It's a data hub with other ports and power. So you can plug in if you have a Yoga laptop, say you pick up a little laptop or you get a MacBook or something like that, whatever, doesn't matter. Plug it in over USB-C, boom, you're powering your laptop and you get all these extra ports. This looks great. This looks fantastic. No idea what the price will be, but it's a professional level screen, so probably expensive. That's my guess, but it's for a niche market. That's fine. I'm fine with it as long as it fills its niche. Okay, one more cool thing here in the screen space. Oh, this looks weird. I don't really understand what I'm looking at here. This is an all-in-one. I like all-in-ones. I don't really understand that picture. I haven't looked at the pictures yet. Oh, it's glass. Yeah, it's see-through at the bottom. Okay, I see. I understand now. So that's see-through. That's like the light. They're trying to show, it's just hard to show an imagery. So it has the nice stand on the back with all the ports in it. That's the PC. The PC is in that little piece there with all the ports and that kind of stuff. So that's the back side. And then it's actually like a glass on the bottom. That looks sick, actually. You can see right through it to the back. That looks nice. Lenovo, I mean, they're pushing the Yoga as their, like, you know, the clean, premium, you know, everything super clean, premium. It's a very refined experience, and I'm good with that. That's what I want in a Yoga lineup. So see-through, very cool, looks sick. Specs obviously look great too. It's an all-in-one, so it's a computer and a screen. Core Ultra X7 358H, so the Panther Lake 7 series should be really good. It'll have lots of cores, it'll have tons of CPU compute, and it'll have a great iGPU. They don't need to put an iGPU, a DGPU in here, dedicated graphics. I mean, it'd be cool if they did, but they don't need to because the Core Ultra X7, X9, the Panther Lake stuff has a very good iGPU series in terms of, even for gaming, but for professional stuff, it excels. I had to go get coffee. I'm losing my voice. There's so much more to go. There's so much more to go. Okay, that's the AIO. Let's go back. We have some other cool stuff in here. Okay, yeah. Okay, what else we got here? What else we got here? I'm gonna have to make multiple videos. There's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff. Okay, that's the new Yoga screen. I think maybe the new Yoga screen, but that's not the Look at that little thing there. Look at that little baby. What do we have? Okay. So we have a mini PC and a true mini PC, not like I don't have anything to show you. Not like an Idea Center, like the small ones with the workstation thing. This is like a little, it looks like a little ramen bowl with the sealed the top, but inside is not ramen. It's a computer. Very good CPU, X7 358. So you're going to be getting essentially kind of what you'd get out of the AIO version of this thing. But some people don't want the AIO because they already have, you know, an expensive screen or something, or they buy the Lenovo Yoga screen, the expensive screen, rather than the AIO, and then they get this little guy, just plug it in, and you have a very capable system. 358H, again, I don't have the CPU, nobody does other than Intel, but based on their leaks, it's incredible. Based on my experience with Intel in the past year, Intel is effing nailing it. So I have faith in this. Yeah, Intel Mobile is crazy. They're like, those guys are just like jacked up on Monster. And just like brain pills are just ripping stuff, just killing it. Anyways, so very good CPU. I'm guaranteeing that. Very good iGPU, guaranteeing that. Don't know where it sits specifically, but it'll be at least as good as Intel, as AMD right now, if not significantly better. 32 gigabytes of RAM, soldered, can't upgrade it. It's a tiny little PC, whatever. Again, RAM costs of as much as a mortgage. It does use M.2 inside, so I don't know how you get inside, but you can obviously upgrade it at some point. Don't know what. It's probably a 2242 though, so don't worry about it. It'll have ports and stuff though. Anyways, 100 watts, blah, blah, blah. Speakers built in, like a little Mac Mini type thing. And here's what matters. It has your ports, so you're going to be able to expand it. So if you're like, I need more storage, well, you just hook up a dock to it. So you get Thunderbolt 4 support with power delivery. You get more, you get power delivery over here. This is what I was looking for. Power delivery, 100 watts. Lots of ports on this thing. LAN, local area network for wired, HDMI. Just one, but again, you're probably hooking up to a big screen like that. And if you need more displays, you use Thunderbolt. On the other side over there, you have more Thunderbolt ports. So you get another one. And fingerprint reader, that's good. So fingerprint reader is good because it does allow you to use certain features of Copilot. I'm not the AI guy. AI is bullshit. But I'm talking about data center AI is bullshit. Local AI is great because it allows you to do AI type things without destroying the universe. A lot of the features in Copilot that are good are actually locked behind a fingerprint and biometric reading because it doesn't want you to have your data compromised. So you have to do that. That's very good. And it's just safe. If you have this in a work environment, you can lock down your thing with a fingerprint rather than having, a password someone can just steal. So this thing looks really cool. Wi-Fi 7, Seashell's beautiful. It's going with the new Seashell vibes. So much more to go. Now I'm saying that like I'm complaining, but I'm not. I love this kind of stuff. Okay. So that's the Yoga. I don't know what order these videos are going to be in, but I've done the Legions. I've done the Yogas and the Yoga branded stuff. Yes, that's right. There's some Yoga speakers and that kind of stuff. We'll get into accessories later. Yoga Pro, Lenovo Pro. Hello, Lenovo Pro. Stop emailing me right now. I'm busy. I'm busy shilling your brand, in fact. So, what do we have here? This is the Thinkcentre, oh god, get the names. Thinkcentre AIO Aura Edition, so Intel. But look how cool it looks. What do I mean by that? It's, look at the aspect ratio. That's not what I want to do. Come over here. Look at the aspect ratio. It's like more square than you're used to. This is like what we used to have back in my day. 4x3, 5x4, I'm not sure. It might say on the spec sheet. So not as long of a screen, a much more square screen, which for someone like me, especially as a secondary monitor, or I have this as my primary and I have like a long one for viewing shows, it's such a godsend. LG made one like this. I can't remember, a couple of years ago when I used it. And it was so nice because you could actually stack two screens on top of it in there with splitting it and get two like that. Or this is so good for things like document editing. Just having that front and center there. Oh my God. In spreadsheets, it's so nice to just have that type of aspect ratio. It's such a godsend. And retro gaming. Not that that's what this is for, but you could do it. So this thing looks really impressive in terms of like the screen orientation. I love that immediately. This is an AIO, so it's a computer. Let's leave, it has a webcam. Let's leave that one up because I like the way that looks. It really demonstrates the aspect ratio. Speakers built in. That's the PC. That's the brains of the matter there. Specs. So Intel Core Ultra X7. So I don't remember the names. 358. The Panther Lake 7 series. So it'll be very good for CPU, and it'll have an incredible iGPU. So you're not going to need any more than that. Intel Arc, it's just the name. It has the Panther Lake stuff, so it's good. This is good. Very good. Very good. 64 gigabits of, holy shit, does Panther Lake get fast RAM? What the hell? I guess this is like an unlocked chassis. 9,600 megatransfers per second? Jesus. So that means that this CPU is going to rip, and so is the iGPU, because of that fast RAM. Holy crap! I didn't know they could go that fast. I've never seen RAM that fast. So very fast. One of the advantages of soldered memory, it's just super effing fast. Two M.2s in this, that's good. Upgradable. 2280 as well. They're actually telling you, so you're going to be able to put two in here. So you're going to be able to put 16 terabyte storage inside very easily. The screen is obviously very impressive. Like, you wouldn't want some shit screen on this thing. It's a very unique and interesting, unique nowadays, aspect ratio screen. Awesome. This is like between 4K and 1440p. You can see there, it sits between that. It's similar to that LG one that I had. So it sits well above 1440p and a little bit below 4K. So you get a lot of resolution here. It just looks funny because it's the aspect ratio. Oh God, I wish I knew off the top of my head. It's either 4x3 or 5x4, one of the two. So it's more square. Decent enough brightness, especially for indoors, no problems there. Obviously it's creator focused, professional focused, so you get really good colors. Not a gaming screen, obviously, by any means. Anti-glare, oh God, thank you, Lenovo. So it's anti-glare. Not high refresh or anything like that. It's a very creator screen. Again, similar to that LG from back in the day, but it's also a freaking computer. 4 speakers, all right, and 4 mics, intelligent noise canceling. So obviously meant for high level professional stuff. Optional AI smart camera, up to 16 megapixels. Jesus. Okay. And most importantly, obviously you get Thunderbolt, so you can expand this with storage. Just pop a dock in behind it, put in hard drives, whatever you need, you can expand it because of the Thunderbolt. So that's good. More USB-C ports as well. Of course, it does have USB-A. Very good. Love to see that. HDMI, so you can put a second monitor beside it, like a 16:9 monitor if you need to, or 2 of these. but they're both computers, so that'd be weird. More ports is there as well. Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, yada, yada, yada. This looks great. I like this. This is fantastic. The aspect ratio sells it. It's an immediate win for me because the aspect ratio. Moving on.